Namaste students. Welcome to statistics online class. In the last class, we solved some 1 mark and 2 mark questions on normal distribution. Let us have few more problems on normal distribution. The next question is, if the variance of normal distribution is 9 centimeter square, then find quartile deviation and mean deviation. What is QD? QD is a quartile deviation and MD is a mean deviation. Now we know the formula for quartile deviation as well as a mean deviation. That is with the help of the formula we can find this. Now what is quartile deviation? Before that, what is given? Given in a normal distribution, variance of a normal distribution is 9 centimeters square. That is variance sigma square is equal to 9 centimeters square. This implies standard deviation equal to square root of variance. Is it right? Which is equal to square root of 9, which is equal to 3 centimeters. So here sigma we can find with the help of the given information. Next, find quartile deviation. Quartile deviation formula is 2 by 3 sigma, which is equal to 2 by 3 into sigma. Sigma is 3 itself. So what is the answer? 2 centimeter. Quartile deviation is 2 centimeters. Next, mean deviation. Mean deviation is equal to 4 by 5 sigma, which is equal to 4 by 5 into sigma. Sigma is 3. 4 into 3, 12 divided by 5, which is equal to 2.4 centimeters. Now here quartile deviation and mean deviation can be obtained if standard deviation is known. Next, find the quartile deviation and point of inflections and the points of inflection of a normal distribution with the mean 30 and standard deviation 6 How to do this? What are the given factors? Mean is given, standard deviation is given. So we can write given mu equal to mean equal to what? 30. Similarly, standard deviation equal to sigma equal to 6. This is the given information. Next, here we have to find the quartile deviation and the points of inflection. First, find quartile deviation is equal to formula 2 by 3 sigma, which is equal to 2 by 3 into sigma. Sigma is 6. So 3 ones are, 3 twos are. So 4 is the answer. So here quartile deviation is 4. Next, the points of inflection. What are the points of inflection? The points of inflection are mu minus sigma and mu plus sigma, right? We know that in feature we studied. Next, which is equal to, substitute the value of mu and sigma. What is mu? Mu equal to 30 minus sigma. Sigma is 6 and mu plus sigma 30 plus 6, which is equal to 30 minus 6 24 and 30 plus 6 36. So the points of inflection are 24 and 36, right? Next problem, given Q1 equal to 30 and Q3 equal to 70. Find the mode of normal distribution. Now given first quartile and second quartile values will be given, right? Next it is asked to find a mode. How to find a mode? Now we know the feature of normal distribution. Since the normal distribution is symmetric, mean, median and mode are equal. And one more factor we have seen, that is a Q1 and Q3 are equidistant from median. Since Q1 and Q3 are equidistant from median, we can say Q1 and Q3 are equidistant from mean, equidistant from mode, etc. So in general, we can say in normal distribution, Q1 and Q3 are equidistant from median, mode as well as mean. Therefore, in a normal distribution, mode can be calculated with the help of the formula mode equal to Q1 plus Q3 divided by 2. Q1 plus Q3 divided by 2, because Q1 and Q3 are equidistant from mode, right? Therefore, we can use this formula. That is in a normal distribution, the middle point here, median lies, mode also here exists, and also x bar, and these are Q1 and Q3. These are Q1 and Q3 are equidistant from all the three factors. That is m minus Q1 is equal to Q3 minus m. Similarly, z minus Q1 equal to Q3 minus z, and so on. Therefore, in a normal distribution, this is the formula to find mean, median and as well as mode if Q1 and Q3 are given. It is applicable only in normal distribution, right? So, mode equal to Q1 plus Q3 divided by 2. Now, what is given? First write given factors. Q1 equal to 30 and Q3 equal to 70. Therefore, mode 30 plus 70 divided by 2, that is 100 by 2, which is equal to 50, right? Which is equal to 50. Next problem, in the normal distribution, if the values of first and third quartiles are 25 and 55 respectively, find the mean. Now, in this problem, you can write in a normal distribution here, right? Because in other distributions, it may not be true. Next is, once again, this is the similar problem. Now, what are the given factors? First and third quartiles are given in a normal distribution. Q1, first quartile is Q1. What is the value of that? 25. And Q3, third quartile, that is given 55. Now, what is asked? Find the mean. As I told earlier, in a normal distribution, mean equal to, right, Q3 plus Q1 divided by 2, because it is the middlemost point of Q1 and Q3, middlemost position, right, which is equal to mean 25 plus 55 divided by 2, that is a 40. 80 divided by 2, which is equal to 40. So we solved problems on finding mean and mode. Similarly, median also we can calculate with the help of the same formula. Next, in a normal distribution, mean and variance are 50 and 16 respectively. Find Q1 and Q2. Find Q1 and Q3. Right? So what is given now? In a normal distribution, mean and variance are 50 and 16 respectively. Find Q1 and Q3. So first write the given values. What are given? In a normal distribution, mean equal to mu equal to 50 and variance equal to sigma square equal to 16. Right? Next, what else is asked? We have to find Q1 and Q3. Now in the feature we have studied Q1 is equal to mu minus 0.6745 sigma. Similarly, Q3 is mu plus 0.6745 sigma. Here with the help of those formulae we can find the required factors, right? Because mu and sigma is given. So first one, Q1 equal to mu minus 0.6745 sigma, which is equal to mu equal to 50 minus variance sigma square. What is standard deviation? Since variance is 16, standard deviation equal to square root of 16, that is 4. So here write 4, which is equal to 50 minus, the answer is 2.698. 2.698, which is equal to 47.302. 47.302. Similarly, next is Q3 is equal to mu plus 0.6745 sigma, which is equal to 50 plus 0.6745 sigma, which is equal to 4, which is equal to 50 plus 2.698, which is equal to 52.698. 52.698, right? This is how to find the Q1 and Q3 when mu and sigma are given. Yes, sir. Next, one more problem. That is our 15th problem. In a normal distribution, if Q1 equal to 20 and Q3 equal to 50, then find mean, quartile deviation and standard deviation. If q1 equal to 20 and q3 equal to 50, then find the mean, quartile deviation and standard deviation. Right? Now q1 is given, q3 is given. How to find the mean and all? Now already we solved. If q1 and q3 are given, how to find a mean in a normal distribution, that is with the help of the formula q1 plus q3 divided by 2. So here first we can start like this. In a normal distribution given q1 equal to 20 and q3 equal to 50, right? Next first find the mean, and therefore mean equal to q1 plus q3 divided by 2, that is a 20 plus 50 divided by 2, which is equal to 35. Next, how we can find quartile deviation? Quartile deviation formula is quartile deviation is equal to 2 by 3 sigma. But to use that formula, sigma is unknown. We have to find a sigma first, right? That is sigma can be calculated with the help of this formula. Now mu is given, mu is not given, we calculated 35 minus 0.6745 into sigma. Sigma is unknown but q1 is known. So in this formula, by substituting the value of q1 and mu, we can find the sigma now. So we have to first find the sigma, and after that quartile deviation can be calculated with the help of 2 by 3 sigma. This is one procedure. But easily we can find like this. Quartile deviation, in first PU we studied quartile deviation is equal to q3 minus q1 by 2. This is the simplest way of calculating quartile deviation, right? Which is equal to q3. Q3 is 50 minus 20 q1 divided by 2. This is 30 divided by 2, which is equal to 15. It is very easy, right? In first PU we studied quartile deviation is equal to q3 minus q1 divided by 2. Next we can find standard deviation. How to find standard deviation? That is we know quartile deviation is equal to 2 by 3 sigma. This implies, what is quartile deviation? Quartile deviation, just now I obtained 15 is equal to 2 by 3 sigma. Substitute the known value, quartile deviation. Sigma is unknown. Now just cross multiply. This implies 3 into 15, right, is equal to 2 sigma, right? That is sigma is equal to 3 into 15, 45. 45 divided by 2, which is equal to 22.5. Let us study first how to find probability of z is greater than a, probability of z is less than a, and probability of z lies between a and b. Right? That is here all the three factors given considers the standard normal distribution. Now here first how to represent those in terms of curve. For example, consider the first one, probability of z is greater than a. Represent this in a curve. Which curve now required? That is a standard normal curve. Now z is greater than a means in this example I am going to consider let a equal to 2. That is we have to find here p of z is greater than 2. Represent this z is greater than 2 in a standard normal curve. In a standard normal curve, the central value is 0. The extremes are minus infinity and plus infinity. Z is greater than 2. First, mark this value 2. Since it is positive, mark 2 in the right side. That is, get a perpendicular at the required specific value. Now shade the region which represents z is greater than 2. Greater means always in the number line the right side of a particular number. It indicates a greater than region. So here greater than 2, and one more factor here, upper limit is not mentioned. So if it is not mentioned, our upper limit in standard normal distribution, it is infinity. So we must move from 2 to infinity, which indicate the region z is greater than 2. So here this shaded region indicate z is greater than 2, that is 2 to infinity, and we can read it as area under the standard normal curve from 2 to infinity, right? So we can write this as a probability of z is greater than 2, which is equal to area from 2 to infinity. This is how to write area from 2 to infinity, and this area can be read from tables of areas under standard normal curve. That is, here z is positive, z is equal to 2. So in a table, just here in the first column you just must search 2.0, that is 0.0 and so on. Somewhere 2.0 is given. 2 means 2.00, so 2.0. Next move to the next first column, that is a 0. Here you will be getting one value that is called as a area from 2 to infinity, right? Area from 2 to infinity. Next is that is 0. The answer is 0.0228. Next, suppose a is equal to -2, then what happens here? Probability of z is greater than -2 we have to calculate. First, get standard normal curve and represent that factor in a standard normal curve. First, the standard normal curve is this one, plus infinity, minus infinity. Next, mark this specific value of z, that is -2, and that must be marked here. It is negative to the left of 0, mark as a -2. Then z is greater than -2 till what? Till infinity. That is a -2 to infinity. That is the required region. Get a perpendicular at -2. Then shade the region to the right of -2. Don't stop at 0. It is still infinity. So it is the required region which represents probability of z is greater than -2, and through statement we can write area from -2 to infinity. -2 to infinity. Once again, since this is the region from z to infinity, it can be read from table, and the value from the table is 0.9772. Where to observe? That is, in the table z value is -2.0, and in the column 0. Just move in this row and column. Here the value will be 0.9772. Next, imagine we want to find this unshaded region. Yes, if we want to find this unshaded region, that is from area from -infinity to 2, then how we can find this? This can be obtained by considering the formula area from -infinity to infinity. Yes, how to find area from -infinity to infinity, this whole region, minus area from 2 to infinity, minus area from 2 to infinity. That means we have to subtract this region from the whole region to get this unshaded region, right? That is, we can say area from -infinity to 2, area from -infinity to 2, that is this unshaded region, is equal to area from minus infinity to infinity, this whole region, what it is? We know it is 1, right? Minus area from 2 to infinity. This can be read from tables, and already we wrote this, that is 0.0228, right? And this is area from minus infinity to z, or 2, area from minus infinity to 2. That is always, remember, the area to the left of a particular value of z is equal to 1 minus area from that value to z, right? This is how to find the area to the specific value, left of specific value of z. That is, if we want to find, so what is this? This is actually probability of z is less than 2. Is it clear? Probability of, and the curve here we can get like this. If you want to find probability of z is less than 2, then get a curve, infinity, minus infinity, this is 0, and mark 2 here. Now which region is required? Z is less than 2. To the left of 2 I want, till what? Till infinity, right? So this is the required region. It represents probability of z is less than 2. How to find this? Now if you are going to look at the table, you will be getting a value 0.0228 in the table corresponding to z is equal to 2. It never represents this region, it represents the right region. So here, to find this, I have to use this formula, area from minus infinity to 2, area from minus infinity to 2 is equal to area from minus infinity to infinity minus area from 2 to infinity, right? Okay. Next, one more factor, if z lies between a and b. What are a and b values? Those are specific values of z, may be negative or positive. How to find that? Now for example, I am going to consider now third part, probability of z lies between a and b, right? Now I am going to consider a as a probability of, let a equal to minus 1.5 and b equal to 2.5. Now how to find this? First represent this through a curve, standard normal curve, and this is negative value minus 1.5, it is positive, mark in the right side of 0. Next, get perpendiculars at those specific values. Next is shade the required region, z lies between, so between, this is the required region. Between means middle region of those two specified values, it is required to find. Now what is the probability of z lies between those two values? It is nothing but area from left end of that region to right end of that region. Left end is minus 1.5 and right end is 2.5, right? So those are extremes. Area from minus 1.5 to 2.5. How to find this? Now in the table, if z is equal to 2.5, you will be getting this region. This region can be obtained from table. Similarly, the area from minus 1.5 to infinity also can be obtained from table. So from table, two values you are getting, those are corresponding to z is equal to minus 1.5 and z is equal to 2.5. The first value represents the area from minus 1.5 to infinity, this full region, right? Another value with respect to 2.5, it represents this part. So this whole part we can get, this part also we can get, subtract this part from this complete area to get this shaded region. Is it right? So area from, what to do? Area from minus 1.5 to infinity minus this part, that is area from 2.5 to infinity, area from 2.5 to infinity, right? So once the required region is specified, next consider area from left extreme to infinity minus right extreme to infinity. That way we can calculate the area between two specified values of z. And how those areas we can find? That is first one, area from minus 1.5 to infinity, that is nothing but 0.9332 minus another one, area from 2.5 to infinity, that is a 0.0062, and the answer is 0.927. This is the answer for probability of z lies between minus 1.5 and 2.5. Okay. Next, let us solve one problem. It is asked for 5 marks. The problem is, if x is a normal variate, with the mean mu and standard deviation sigma, find the probability that, then find the probability that x takes value, in the 3 sigma neighborhood of mu. In the 3 sigma neighborhood of mu. Now, to do this problem, just to see first what is given. It is given x follows, x is a normal variate, x follows normal in bracket mean mu and variance sigma square. This is given. What is to be calculated? That is probability that x takes value in the 3 sigma neighborhood of mu. That is, it is required to find the probability of a normal variate x lies between 3 sigma limits. 3 sigma limits means mu minus 3 sigma and mu plus 3 sigma. We have seen this in the features of a normal distribution. So, here probability of mu minus 3 sigma less than x less than or equal to mu plus sigma must be calculated. How to start? Now, here first always to find this, we have to convert the given normal variate x as a standard normal variate z. Always while solving the problems on normal distribution, the first step is to convert the given normal variate as a standard normal variate. So, here first write the standard normal variate, then x equal to, z equal to x minus mu by sigma. We have seen this, it follows normal with the 2 parameters 0, 1. I told it is very, very important in the previous class, right? So, this is the factor which is used to convert the given normal variate as a standard normal variate. So, after getting this step, next go for that asked question, that is a probability. Therefore, probability of mu minus 3 sigma less than x less than or equal to mu plus 3 sigma. This one we have to calculate. Next step, first write this as a probability of, in place of x I am going to write this factor x minus mu by sigma. That is, instead of x write x minus mu by sigma. And here I have considered the additional mathematical operation, that is, mu is subtracted from x and that factor is divided by sigma. The same mathematical operations are considered considered for the remaining two factors also. The remaining two factors are, first one mu minus 3 sigma, right? Next one mu plus 3 sigma. First subtract mu from both factors and divided by sigma. Similarly, divided by sigma. According to mathematics, if you are going to multiply the numerator by some factor, the same denominator also multiplied by the same factor. In the similar manner, we have considered the same mathematical operations with all the factors in the mathematical inequality. Okay, now just observe mu and minus mu get cancelled. Here plus mu minus mu get cancelled. Sigma, 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 sigma. Get cancelled. What is remaining? Probability of, here only minus 3 is remaining, and x minus mu by sigma, it says x minus mu by sigma is z, so replace this factor by z. Less than or equal to, here what is remaining? Only 3 is remaining. Now started with the normal variate. Now we have got a standard normal variate. Once you got this form, that is once you got probability of z less than or z greater than, that is a probability of a standard normal variate lies between minus 3 and 3. Now once you reached this stage, then we know how to continue. Just now I told. Next, first it must be represented by a curve, standard normal curve. Minus 3 plus 3 mark, then get perpendiculars, shade the required region. Now z in between minus 3 and 3, so the region between minus 3 and plus 3, it indicates the probability of z lies between minus 3 and plus 3. Next, with the help of the table we must find this. So here we require to find area from minus 3 to 3. Area from minus 3 to 3, which is equal to area from minus 3 to infinity, this whole region, minus area from 3 to infinity, this region. Those two regions can be read from tables, right? Area from minus 3 to infinity minus area from 3 to infinity. Now these can be obtained from tables. Minus 3 means minus 3.0 and 3 means 3.0. Get the values from the table. The values are 0.9987. It is the region area from minus 3 to infinity, this whole region, minus area from 3 to infinity, that is 0.0013, which is equal to, now subtract, the answer is 0.9974, right? It indicates the probability of a normal variate x lies in the 3 sigma neighborhood of mu, right? Probability that x takes value in the 3 sigma neighborhood of mu is 0.9974. This is a feature of normal distribution. Now we have solved this for 5 marks.